cohort 65 and 66, this is Miss Kim, and today is Together Tuesday. Today I'm going to be answering the questions that you posted online, also highlighting some of the fun discussion posts, and announce the winner for our gift card. This is for last week's submissions, so let's see who won. Well, let me get the questions. All right. Got so many submissions this week. This is so exciting. This is the most that we got. Hopefully the number continues growing and we get everybody to submit. Well, I want to highlight some of the posts I did not get to in last week's video. So the first one is from Jada in 66. She asks, what made you choose middle school math? Well, I chose middle school math because elementary requires a lot of patience, which I don't have. And high school, the kids are a little big. So that's why I chose middle school math. Jasleen in 65 said, this is in response to the prompt, would you rather be without your phone or Wi-Fi? She said, without phone, because sometimes if you're on your phone too much, it gets boring. And if you have Netflix, you might not know what to watch, unless you're watching a show or new movies. But for me, it's hard finding something to watch because I already watched all of my shows. Well, Jasleen, I would love to know how many shows are all the shows, and hopefully it's not too many, because you know Netflix has a lot of shows. Joe Quan in 66 said last week, I would go without a phone because if you don't have Wi-Fi or data, there is no use in having a phone without Wi-Fi. On that note, let's go ahead and answer the questions from this week. So the Q&A part, I had students ask me about my personal school experience. Well, Janielle, Melissa, and Jasleen, all from 65, just restated the question. They asked, what is your school experience like? That's pretty vague, so I'm going to skip over that. Trayshawn in 65 said, was teaching high school hard? I never taught high school. Javier in 66 asks, did you hate math at one point in school? And this ties into Jada in 66. Was math hard for you when you were younger? I did dislike math at one point. It was 10th grade when I took Algebra 2. Very challenging. Hopefully you all do not have those same challenges when you take Algebra 2 in high school. Stacy in 66 and Jacob in 65 asked, well, what high school did you go to? Well, many of you know I'm not from Springfield. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and the high school I went to is White Station High School. Go Spartans! Annalise in 65 and Kiana in 66 asked, well, what was the most difficult part about teaching? For me, the difficult part about teaching is definitely being in control of my emotions. There's a lot of things happening, and sometimes you get really frustrated, and then that could get people upset. So that's a little hard for me, and I'm working on it. Dasani in 66 asks, well, what was the most easiest part of teaching? For me, the easiest part of teaching is building relationships with students. You guys are really fun, definitely brighten up my day, and I really miss every single one of you. And hopefully we can go back to school soon. Justice in 66 asks a lot of questions. She said, what was your earliest memory as a student? Mine was kindergarten. I just remember recess. She also asks, what was your favorite subject and what was your least favorite subject? My favorite subject was U.S. history in 10th grade. My least favorite subject was also in 10th grade, but it was Algebra 2. Ugh. She said, well, what grades did you get in your favorite subject? An A. I was lucky enough to get an A. The teacher was very entertaining, and so it made learning really fun. Do you ever wish you could go back to school? Yes, I do. I really enjoyed college and wish I could go back. Miss college. Right. Let's see. Tony in 66 asks, do you miss everyone in school? Yes, I do, Tony. I do miss everyone. He also says, specifically, do I miss Miss Hines? No. Joe Kwan in 66 asks, how were the sports events? Did you go on field trips? Were the teachers cool? So my school was very, very good at sports, and so our football team and our basketball team were really huge. Homecoming was a very big deal. So yeah, sports was a big part of my high school. Very big thing in the South. That's for the Q&A. Now I'm going to highlight some of the discussion posts in response to the prompt, would you rather be in a spelling bee in front of the school or sing in front of the school? Most of you all said that you would rather be in a spelling bee, and I'm going to highlight the ones whose responses were particularly fun. Let's see. Johnny Allen, 65, said, I would rather be in a spelling bee in front of the whole school because if I were to sing in front of the school, either my voice would crack or I would get stage fright. But in a spelling bee, you only have to spell one word, then sit down again. Unless you're a really good speller, then I guess you have to go back up again. But yeah, the voice crack is a little daunting. A lot of anxiety around that, especially when you're singing in front of people. Justice in 66 wrote, she said, if I could choose between singing or competing in a spelling bee in front of the entire school, I think I would rather compete in a spelling bee. If I were to sing in front of everyone, I think that I would probably get nervous or something and stop singing. Although, if I were in a spelling bee, I don't think I would be as nervous since you're simply spelling words. In parentheses, she wrote, I also think I'm pretty good at spelling, but don't tell anyone I said that. Well, Justice, I just told everyone. Tony and Carmelo wrote something similar. They said that they would rather be in a spelling bee because they have been in spelling bees before. Tony wrote that he actually won 3rd place in one of them. That's impressive. Let's see. Jacob in 65 wrote, I would do a spelling bee because it's less embarrassing, even though I don't know how to spell. I'm not sure how that is less embarrassing, but to each their own. Let's see. And now I'm going to go over the people who said that they would rather sing than do the spelling bee. Joe Quad in 66 wrote, I would sing because I sing at my church with lots of people, so I'm used to it. I had no idea. That's cool. Trey Sean in 65 wrote, I would rather sing in front of the whole school because I can't spell. And you know, Trey Sean can sing dumb good. Well, Trey Sean, I have not heard you sing, so I don't know if that's true. Maybe you should sing for us. All right. Well, that's for all of our questions. Thank you for doing those. That was exciting. And now for our... before we do that, I made this little pie chart to show how many of us said we would rather do a spelling bee or we would rather sing in front of the school. The dark gray are those who said that they would rather do a spelling bee. The lighter gray are those who would rather sing. Tying this all back to math. Pie chart. Now for the moment of truth. Let's see who won the Amazon gift card. Here we go. So I don't have anything fancy, just this bowl. I put everyone's names in here. So every time you submitted an assignment, your name is in here. So if you are someone who consistently submitted assignments, your name's in here multiple times. So here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Oh my goodness, it's Javier in 66. So Javier is the winner of our first Amazon gift card giveaway. Congrats, Javier. And for everyone else, this has been Together Tuesday. I'll see you next week.